Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are sitting down in the Bourbon Penthouse with Mr. Nick Hayden and the legend Stephen J. themselves. What's up, fellas?
Just another day at the workplace for me.
Just another day at the workplace.
Putting in those long hours.
I know, man. Retired and then went back to work. I don't get it.
I know. We need to get you like a sweet scooter or like a throne over there at Old Forester.
Yeah.
Sit by the door and bless people.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I can make this work. I mean, this could be awesome.
Be like the little Catholic cross over there, man. You're not Catholic, though.
No, I'm not.
All right.
We'll figure out something.
Somebody'd have to teach me which direction it goes.
So you start down, up, right, left, right? No, left, right. Yeah, right, left, yeah. Down, up, left, right, left.
Yeah. Yes.
I had to think about it for a minute there.
It's so ingrained in its habits. Like, okay.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
All right, so today we are taking the proverbial rabbit hole, and we are going to go through all of what I would consider their premium bottles or premium releases outside of, I guess, the single barrels that they've just recently done with the different artwork and things to that nature. So, Nick, you want to walk us through what we're going to have today, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, so we are looking at 3 of the Founders collection, and this started, I think, 2 years ago with the Rye, and then they released the Mizonara finish, which is a 15-year-old finished in Mizunara Cask, and then recently, within the past month and a half, they released the Raceking. Beautiful displays. They come in the boxes, so it's like a green box for the Rye, burnt orange for the Raceking, and then a nice wooden, like, laser engraved display. Probably one of the better displays I've seen for a bourbon or a whiskey bottle in a while. I mean, if you want to tater it up, I have it back here somewhere.
Now, are they all come apart in pieces and stuff like the Mizonara Cask was?
No, the Rye and the Raceking is more like a book, so it's more like this really heavy cardstock cardboard.
Gotcha.
That has magnetics. I mean, they do a good job with it.
Gotcha.
The Mizonara, though, it has the front and the back, has the wood, just really ornate, really, again, it's done well, but the price tag does come with that.
100% the price tag comes with that one.
Yeah, so when we look outside of the normal offering, so you go with the gin, and then you go with the, I think it's the Derringer, which is the sherry cask, the High Gold, which is the Blue Label, the Cave Hill, which is the
Black Label.
Yeah, black chocolate.
Yep.
And then the Boxergrail, which is the green, and then you go up into their new single barrels, which they just put out probably 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So they started doing, I think they did 10 single barrels with that, and that artwork was the Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And we did a live podcast on that with Kaveh and Adam, who is very generous with their time and allowing us to use their space. And then you start off. Then after that, you take the tier up, and then you go the Boxergrail or the Founders. So the Rye, if found retail, I think it's like $200. The Raceking is $300, and then the Mizonara is $1,500 if found. That one does carry a little heavy of a price tag, probably about as heavy as that cork.
Dude, those corks are unreal. Like, it's got to be the heaviest corks I've ever felt.
There's only one cork that I think that could beat it, and that's the old collaboration with Bardstown and Copper and Kings. It looks like a cinder block. Like it was a Mistel and a brandy, but I swear that was like a hockey puck of brass just sitting on top of it.
Gotcha.
But no, it's heavy glass, done well. So we're going to open up with the Raceking, which is the new 5-grain double chocolate malted.
So it's got a chocolate malted rye and a chocolate malted barley.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes corn, rye, chocolate malted rye, barley, chocolate malted barley.
All right. This is exciting for me because this is the first time I'm trying this. And then anytime you hear 5-grain or, different things that are outside of your normal. Now, granted, it's still really basically only truly a 3-grain, but because the fact that they've, that chocolate malted gives it a different depth of flavor. So I'm kind of excited to see what this looks like.
Yeah. I mean, as far as coloring goes, besides the Mizonara, I mean, you got this real rich, dark amber color.
Yep.
going with my legs, nice oily legs. I mean, it's just
Dude, this thing is just crazy hanging to the glass.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like sticks on the side. Like I don't get a lot of leg on it. It's just almost like that oil ring going around.
And that's probably from the extra barley. Now, I will tell you though, the nose on this thing it's a little hot. I mean, it's got a little bit of a heat to the nose. So I was kind of surprised by that.
It has a very unique nose.
What's the proof on this bad boy?
So this is 109.2.
109.2. So there must have been a low entry proof then, if it was that low.
Definitely get the chocolate.
Yeah, you get like and it's more like a dark chocolate. It's not like any of those other types, but
yeah, I don't get like this like the sweet like milk chocolate. Like it's more like
dark chocolate.
Yeah,
I like that 99% black dark,
yes.
cocoa.
Yeah, the one that, you'd be like, oh, I got this. And then as a kid, you're just like, I don't want that. Like.
Yeah, it's got some citrus to it, too. Like, I mean, like there's like a hint of like orange or like grapefruit in the very, very back.
I almost get like some of these like tobacco notes.
Yeah, I get a little of that. But man, I'm really getting, like I said, I'm getting more like chocolate and citrus right off the bat on this thing.
I mean, and again, you got
more,
double
more
chocolate.
Orange than grapefruit.
Yeah, maybe it is orange. Man, that was a swish, man. You went straight in on that bad boy.
Whew.
I'm still trying to figure out this nose. It's so complex. I mean, chocolate, the orange. It's almost got a little bit of like when you said like tobacco, it might be like cherry tobacco, like a macerated like cherry, like a tart cherry like tobacco smell. I don't know. It's very complex on the nose, but it's a little boozy too.
Like when I think of this, like those Valentine's Day chocolate heart things that come up with all the flavors. Like usually they have like one of those fruit, not the cherry one, but there's another one like the orange cream. Like I'm getting that dark orange cream, and then I can visualize like sitting next to like a cigar lounge. Like that's, to me, that's what I visualize getting. So it's like that chocolate, that fruit citrus, and then again I'm getting those subtle like tobacco notes.
Yep.
I mean.
No, I'm 100% with you right there because I just took a little sip of it, and yeah, it's definitely got the citrus comes through. It really does, and I wonder what's causing that. Like, I mean, it must be pulling from the rye, because I don't think barley would typically give you that type. Because barley typically is more of a sweetener and purely for viscosity. Typically it gives you some of the legs and helps with some of the actual the bubbly part whenever you're fermenting it. It helps out with that portion of it.
Yeah, in the mash bill's not disclosed on this, and there's probably a non-disclosure anyway, but based off the spice and things, I'd probably go, you got your corn, but I'd probably go a lot more of that rye.
Yes.
Like more of that higher rye.
Yeah.
And then, they'd probably back it up with barley to keep,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's 59 corn and then pretty much builds from there.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't get a lot of the sweetness. So I'd probably say lower on the corn, higher on the rye, and then they probably supplement in the barley. Because I think the barley adds, like once you get those chocolate, I think Woodford may have done it, but there's a couple that do the chocolate and they do the barley because I think it probably holds that chocolate note better than the rye, maybe.
Yeah. What do you think, Stephen?
I get the tobacco part on the taste.
Yeah.
I didn't really get it on the nose.
Yeah, no.
And the taste is much different than I would have expected from the nose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it was that much different from what I expected off the nose, but the tobacco definitely comes through stronger than it does on the nose.
Yeah. I mean, it takes you for a ride.
It does. And you get the chocolate, you get the orange, you get that tobacco. Man, it's definitely a unique pour.
I just expected more citrus in the taste.
Yeah.
Based on the nose. I mean,
so I feel like the citrus is there. It's all in the front palate. Like it goes away on the mid. The mid comes in with that more of that chocolate and a little bit more of that earthy tone from man, that tobacco. Man, that just is super super unique.
Yeah. No, when I think of like the chocolate malted, Woodford came out with one I think 2 years ago, like their batch proof or their cellar collect, whatever it's called. And I wasn't a huge fan of that. But this, I mean, again, it's taken me through like, I guess down the rabbit hole. I mean, I don't know how, no, I mean, it's taken me for rides, but I mean, with the different noses, I actually enjoy this. Like,
so did you put a drop of water in it by chance?
That's your job.
I know, man, but like it really opens it up. I mean, like 100% on the nose. Like it really opens the nose up. Now, I haven't sipped it yet, but the nose just it just makes it a little bit more complex. You still get the chocolate, you still get a little bit of that orange, but instead of tobacco, it's almost more like leather, and it's got a little bit more of a tannin to it. And I also get like a little bit more of like a cherry or something like that in there.
No, yeah, no real complaints. I mean, definitely unique.
Oh man, though, that drop actually makes a difference. I mean, like the orange comes through, like it's coming more and more palate forward. The chocolate's still there. You get a little bit more of the caramel pop, and then you get that nice warm undertone on the finish, where it's going to be more like that leather / tobacco flavor.
Water helped.
Yeah, I think water really opened it up.
And I got more of the cherry taste.
Oh, that is crazy. That is, I will tell you, that's probably one of my favorite of the ones that I've tried so far from,
the regular
rabbit hole. Yes, in general, yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah. So this next one's the rye. So this was actually round one.
Old school Boxergrail, but this was what, a 6-year?
Yeah.
Now, if I remember, well, never mind. We can't really say where it was originally distilled, because obviously they were contract distilling with somebody in particular.
Yes, they were
at that time. But
so 114 proof for the rye.
So what always gets me about the Boxergrail is like it's a rye, right? But sometimes, like, I almost get like the Cave Hill almost has more of a rye flavor than the Boxergrail does at times, and I don't know why that is. And I think it's because they're pulling more of the fruit forward notes off the Boxergrail in general.
Probably.
I'm gonna clean my palate while you're tasting. What do you think about the legs on this bad boy?
I mean, solid. I mean, when you look at when I'm looking at both of them at the same light, I mean the coloring is very similar. Where the Race King held on longer. I mean, this one's, it's still oily, and you can still kind of see it go down the glass. It's not as thick as the Race King.
No, the Race King has definitely got it crushed in the viscosity department. It really lingers on your tongue too, that Race King does. But the nose, not quite as complex. I mean, it's
just a rye.
Yeah, get a little. I do get a little like apple or cherry there though, and I'm trying to put a thumb on it, but I really can't get it. And then you get a little tobacco, maybe a little leather.
I would say apple.
A little bit
what
of
I'm getting.
Yeah, and I can't disagree. Like I said, it's apple or cherry. It's something. It's super light though. I mean, you can barely get it on the nose.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dive in on the taste. I'll let you do your tasting notes or whatever, Nick. Try not to influence me too much here.
It doesn't bring that hug like I'd expect out of 114 proof, to be honest with you. I mean, I can kind of feel it, but it's not like I've had some, that 110 proof that will just feel like I have heartburn.
Right.
So, subtle. I don't think it drinks like 114.
No, not at all.
It dies off at the back of the mouth.
Yeah, the finish is a little low. It's got a little pepper, a little bit of citrus up front. You get a little bit of that cherry and that tobacco on the mid palate, but there's almost no finish at all to this thing. It is super, super mild on the finish.
Now, compared to the regular rye, if I recall, I would take this over their regular offering. I think it offers probably more.
Yeah, it's got more depth of flavor, but when you add age, you're going to get a little bit more of that oak and a little bit more of that wood, and I think that's where you get kind of more of those tannins, like that leather or that tobacco flavor, because you're pulling that wood out. A little bit of those earthy tones.
It's okay for a 6-year rye. It's of the two, it's not my favorite right now, but I think it's solid. Honestly, would I probably choose a couple other ryes above this? Yeah.
Wow, adding water was just
don't do it.
Yeah, it's
don't do
not
it.
At all.
No water to this one.
Wow. It's just weird. It almost just becomes like mint and grass, and like it really just becomes super, super earthy when you put a little water to it. I don't get that one at all with water.
Again, not bad.
I'm going so far Race King Boxergrail. Yeah. But then supposedly the Holy Grail's coming up next.
Supposedly.
Cleanse the palate.
Yep. Really cleanse it for this one. So this one is the Mizonara. So they took their a 15-year.
So help me out here. So Mizonara, that's a specific wood that they use in Japanese whiskeys, things to that nature.
Like a Japanese oak cask. And what I've heard with it is, I guess the wood itself is so temperamental. Like apparently a lot of these barrels just like leak. So the way they age and stuff like that, like it's not like your American oak here where you can let it sit. Like apparently that's why they cost so much. So when you have like a normal barrel that probably runs, I think this is where we need Matt, honestly. Right. I think a normal barrel probably costs $500 to $600 a new, depending on quantity.
Yeah, depending on quantity you're purchasing, and honestly, it depends on who you're getting it from.
Yeah,
the oak.
There's various things, but
I would say probably and I'm thinking more like when you say that, I'm thinking more along French oak, like American white oak. barrels are $150 to $200. I mean, I think
Are we talking new though?
Brand new, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so, but yeah, from what I understand, the Mizonara is like 3 to 5 times that, you know, or more.
I was going to say, I think when I was talking with Kyle Henderson,
Okay.
or when I was helping him or Prav or someone, they were saying like usually to get a Mizonara, a new Mizonara, or even like a really good one, I thought they were saying it was like around like $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh God! So yeah, it's crazy expensive.
Only because they're so rare, they're so hard, they're hard to like break. I mean, apparently everything about them's a nightmare. So
I mean, it is Japan, so you're talking about a group of islands that's roughly the size of like what, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
It's not very big, and then B, I mean, you got so much that's coastline, so what's actually being grown on there as far as trees, it's got to be a minimal amount that's not something else. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see where that's the case.
yeah, like I said, it's
And then they get to be a certain age before, or a certain size, at least with American oak. Like I think they said they have to be at least 21 to 24 inches before they'll even consider cutting them in diameter. So that's some age that go to that as well. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into harvesting the wood for the barrels. That'd be a good maybe podcast if we could get. I mean, that sounds fun.
I have to find some nerd that knows a lot about wood and things like that. And I don't know, Matt might be our expert in that situation. He's learned definitely a lot in what he's doing now. So
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's that's my understanding of it. So don't necessarily quote me on that, but I mean, I'd love to learn more.
Surprisingly, the legs is not crazy on this. I mean, it's got some legs. It's a little thick.
I mean, it's definitely darker. Like when you look at, I mean, it's definitely like
No, it's definitely a shade darker than the other two, but it's 15 years old. It should be.
it should. Yeah, and we're coming in at I think this one was 100. This one was 114 proof.
114. And I'm assuming this is all undisclosed too. I know that I'd heard rumors that like
There's a couple rumors
Heaven
floating around.
Hill and Eagle Rare and a bunch of other weird things, but
The two rumors I've heard were, again, no one will know because it's a non-disclosure. I think only 3 or 4 people know.
right.
Cave, actually probably 5. So Cave and whoever he procured the bourbon from,
Right.
and then probably the person who dumped, and then the two warehouse workers who moved the barrels.
Right.
That's probably it. So I've heard rumors of the Jim Beam, so a lot of the tanked Jim Beam stuff.
Okay.
And then I've heard a Buffalo Saz product, whether
Gotcha.
it's Eagle Rare or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
But I mean, I don't pick up the notes when I nose it. I mean, and it could be because it's finished in the Mizonara and it throws it off a little bit. I mean, but it's hard to distinguish.
yeah, I mean, it's just you get a little bit of like you definitely get a lot of wood. Like there's some oak and
Yes, definitely wood heavy.
yeah,
Notes.
it's got some caramel, some sweetness to it.
I like the nose.
The nose is good.
Very
I still don't
gentle.
know. I still don't know that it's any better than the Race King, but it's definitely different than the Race King.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more delicate and more intricate, I guess I would say.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, the Race King had the best nose. But this is nice.
I can't put my finger on it. I mean, what on earth is that? I mean, I get a little bit of tobacco. I get a little bit of like some apple. And maybe just a touch of citrus in there, like on the nose.
This one definitely has a longer finish than the other ones, though. Oh no, this one's hanging on.
Kind of a gentle hug, not.
Yeah, I mean the biggest knock on this bottle is the cost. I mean, honestly, everyone I've talked to, I mean, there's been little complaints with the taste. There's been no complaints with the display. It's all
No, this is actually delicious.
it's all about would you spend the $1,500 for this bottle?
Yeah, I could definitely see that as being an issue, but I mean, caramel, it's got some tobacco. I'm definitely going to go with apple, like to me, especially like in the front palate, a little bit of on there. I get a little bit of, I'm going to say peach, but something like in that mid palate. I don't know what's mixing with that, but it's some kind of fruit, but it's not apple on the mid palate, which I don't know how you can get peach and apples, but
Yeah, I kind of like using my stone fruit analogy.
yeah,
Like,
yep. I don't disagree with the stone fruit, but there's something in that mid palate I'm trying to put a finger on, and then the finish is just delicious. That rye earthiness,
Yeah.
you know, like leather, tobacco. I mean, a little bit of like nutmeg and clove or some kind of like baking spice in that finish.
I don't get heavy clove, but I can see the nutmeg.
Yeah, and I don't mean like your dejurums that you
My
always talk-
dejarum. That's how I remember the clove now. Like
So I'm thinking of like clove, the actual baking spice, not
Okay.
not like the clove tobacco, like
Okay.
clove and like the actual baking spice.
I need to go down and
Hit the rabbit hole with that.
yeah, just go in the spice drawer.
rack. Yeah,
like put it out on the counter.
and it's on the finish. It's all on the finish in that situation. But I don't know. That is definitely unique.
And
I'll take
there's-
another little sip before I add water.
And there is a second fruit in there.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, it's like a stone fruit, but it could be peach. It could be like a plum. It tastes like light though. I mean, it's very very light. So that's the reason I'm coming more like peach or nectarine, maybe
Yeah,
apricot.
apricot.
There we go.
I like that. It's good. Of the Mizonara finishes I've had, I'd probably say this is one of the better ones I've had.
Yeah,
I mean, because I've had the Angel's Envy Mizonara, which came out the year before this, but I also think they used younger juice. There was a World Whiskey Society 15-year Mizonara finish. Wasn't released in Kentucky. It was released down in the southeast, I think primarily Georgia.
yeah.
And I've had one of those with the samurai heads on it. I have one open and one in the backup, but I don't think it packs the flavor like this.
Don't add water. Just say,
Good.
just don't do it. I'll just tell you, don't add water.
You know, I have a dropper right there, don't I?
I mean, I literally I put one drop in there and like the rye explodes in this thing, and I don't know. I mean, it literally just boom. I mean, just like all mid palate the finish, like it kills a lot of some of the. And maybe I didn't add enough water. Maybe if I kept dropping, I would have pulled back out some of those notes. But
Yeah.
No, I put more in than you did, and it took away a lot of what we liked.
So to me, it was all just straight up just rye on the back end because I literally just put one small drop in there. But
Man, that finish is still, man. Whew.
yeah, the finish on that second one, I mean, with the rye, like even when I added water, I mean, it's hotter on the second
I'm going to have to go in and lick this glass.
nip and see what's up. It was definitely unique. So, man, I don't know. This is
They're all three unique in their own way, which is nice because I think Rabbit Hole is trying to do things differently than like your mainstream, and I think they're coming out with another Founders. I thought I saw a picture of like maybe a 16-year or something like that, but I mean, all good in their own right.
yeah, no, absolutely. But I'm gonna judge these as if price was not an issue. Like
so
if they
$0.
If they were all, let's just say they were all $250, right? If they were all $250, whatever the cheapest one was, $200 or $300, whatever. If I was to pick, I would go number 1 Race King, number 2 Mizonara, number 3 the Boxergrail.
Agreed.
And I would go, and I would even like the Race King regular, and then I would go Race King with a drop is bar none the best.
I would agree with that. I would of the three tonight, I enjoyed that Race King the most, and I think that's because it had the most complex flavoring. I think it had just a nice nose. Not discrediting what they did with the Mizonara, because I do think they did.
No, absolutely.
Well.
The Mizonara was a great
Yeah.
bottle. Like I said, when I tried it, it tasted great. I would never add water to it, not after trying it the way that I did. But
Yeah, and then I'd put the rye behind it, and like I said earlier with the rye, I mean, I've had it's a solid rye, but there's other ryes that
yeah,
I think I'd go above it. And then if price point came to, I think my order would, like with the price point, would stay the same.
yeah, probably.
It's just I guess do you buy the $1,500? That's what it come down to.
I mean, that's you have to have a certain income level before you're going to drop that kind of money on on a bottle. I mean, you just do. I mean,
Yeah, I think each store got one bottle.
right. That or you got to be one of those crazy people that like has somebody that's some dude in New York that's like, hey, I'm going to give you $300 or $500 to buy this bottle and send it to me. And
I'm the crazy dude who found them.
Okay, well, see, so there you go. Yeah,
But I did not. I'll tell you, I did not pay that $1,500.
right. So that being said, I think that's where it would be at in that situation.
Yeah.
All unique, all good.
Yeah, I think they're sold out at the distillery. So if you're looking for these, the rye has been sold out for a while. That was kind of released
for quite some time.
That was released 2 months before COVID, and then once COVID hit, I think they got like 20 in, and then they sold out within a day. The Race King's still fairly new. So the Race King, they did 100 at the distillery. I think they got maybe a couple more in, sold out within like 2 days, I think. I haven't seen any in the stores yet. I saw 1 or 2 people post out of Nashville that they found them. So I think they're going to start hitting the market.
Do you know how many bottles of each were released?
I think it was 1,500. I have it on the back of. I think it's 1,500.
1,500 of each.
Yeah. because it's on the case. It's right on the case.
Gotcha.
So Mizonara you could probably find only because of the price tag, and it's probably sitting on the store wood box.
Right.
The rye I don't think you'll find. I mean, that sold out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the Race King, like I said,
I felt like most of it was actually sold at the distillery of the
they did do
Boxergrail.
Yeah, they did do a lottery. I think they did 100 or 200 bottle lottery. And then the rest was kind of distributed. I think each store got like a case, which is 3. So, I mean, but again, you're talking about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So, but the Race King, I think if someone's really looking for it, I think there's still opportunity to buy it. You just have to find your store. So talk to your local store, wherever that is. It's probably sitting at the warehouse, honestly, until they distribute it.
Do you remember where they said where all they're distributed? Are they in all 50 states?
I didn't think all 50. I almost want to say it's like 48 or 50. I mean.
So they're maybe like in what we would consider the metro, like, continental portion of it. So no Alaska or no Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah, I'd probably guess. And if we're looking here in Louisville, check out Total Wine.
Right.
Total Wine or your Liquor Barn would most likely get the most, because I think they got a case or 2 of the rye when it came out.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of. Actually, they get an entire barrel of the Alice in Wonderland bottles.
Yeah, I think Total Wine may have got like 2. Didn't they get like 2 barrels?
Oh, they could have. I don't know. Like I said.
They may have gotten 2. Don't quote me on that though. But
all right.
But yeah. So Race King, like I said, I think it's coming out. It's orange box, pretty solid display.
Orange is fitting. It tastes like a Toblerone. That's what it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Holy shit! It was on the front of my tongue, and I could not think of what it was. But yes, like one of those Toblerone like chocolate oranges that you break apart into pieces, and that's what it is. It is a Toblerone in a bottle.
That's what I was trying to explain earlier. The chocolate. I got when Valentine's Day candy versus.
Yep.
Damn it.
I was sitting there. I was like, "Damn, what is that chocolate?" I was sitting there thinking, but it's a Toblerone little chocolate orange thing.
Yeah, no, solid pour. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try. I think I'm gonna have to try to find one of those.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
I will. I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled. Well, all right. That's our review of these fine Rabbit Hole products, the Race King, the Boxergrail, and the Mizonara Cask. If you want to find us on Bourbon Real Talk, you can find us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our Twitter. We are also more than glad to accept any kind of emails, questions, comments, concerns about the podcast, things you want to know. We'll be glad to take care of that for you.
Gratuities are always welcome.
Gratuities are always welcome. Yes, you can absolutely. If you want my Venmo or something where you want to support the show, be glad to take that from you. You can hit me up on Facebook or any of those type of things personally, or you can DM the inbox, and then I'll be glad to talk to you through that piece. But that's it. So if you want to, make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube, Apple, iTunes, Spotify's my personal favorite. So go out there, grab the podcast. We appreciate the support. This is Scott, Nick, and the Legend signing off. Peace.